Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's the author AuthorASnorton. You're joining me for the Fast 15. As we do Wednesdays, typically at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we take about 15 minutes to pause, check up, check in, enjoy a reading from any of my books or audiobooks, make a few announcements, and close out on a positive note. Yeah, that's mainly what we do, because sometimes you need an encouraging word during the day. You might not be able to wait until the evening. You might not be able to wait until the morning. So this is for a moment for all of us, just to kind of pause, pump our brakes, and just reboot and renew. So I thank you guys for joining us when we started doing this series April 1st, 2020. So yeah, we're going strong. 3.5 years. Wow, that's a lot. But to stay connected with me, the easiest way is if you're on Instagram, add me at AuthorASnorton, and then click on the link in the bio for my Linktree. For those of you that want to type in the Linktree in your your internet browsers, linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. When you go to the link in the bio / my Linktree, you'll get the newsletter, which the new one just came out earlier today. You'll have access to all the social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter /X, and YouTube. The archival editions of the Conversation Corner with the Status Network. Information on the author Andrew Snorton blend in collaboration with Fonte's Coffee. We've got exciting news that I'll share with you about that. Any interviews, updates from my website, things along those lines. So again, make it simple. If you're on Instagram, AuthorASnorton, and you can click on the link in the bio for my Linktree. But Linktree, linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. And as we normally do, the first Wednesday of the month, we pick a selection from a fellow author. So while I'm still working on this book, and shouts to the good Dr. Blair LM Kelley, I'm gonna get this done. I'm getting closer. I'm gonna pull a selection from a favorite book, as I think some of the things in there are very timely for this time of the year. But before we get into our thought of the day, obviously, words of encouragement to those who are in need. There are a number of people who are going through some challenging times right now. Family members might have transitioned, same thing with friends or loved ones. There might be some issues going on personally, professionally, community-wise, and otherwise. And we want to be sensitive to those things and let you know that, yes, you have every right to feel some kind of way, but the bigger right is take the moments you need to pause and just re-strategize. So if you need professional help, get the professional help you need. If you need to just change up the way that you're moving, the circles that you're in, things along those lines, identify the positive ways that are out there that can help you pull through. And of course, when you pull through it, help others as best as possible. And the same thing goes for people who are doing well. People are having great success in whatever, and you have every right to celebrate because you know what you had to work through in order to get there. But make sure, seriously, make sure that you go ahead and keep it all in perspective. So celebrate responsibly. Let's not forget our peers who might not be going through such great times. So next month, I promise, I'll finish with this great book, which is The Roots of the Black Working Class, Black Folk. Make sure to get a copy of it. Amazing read, great history, biography, personal journey, all those types of things. But since I'm still working that, I'm going to go to one of my go-tos, As a Man Thinketh. Definitely a very influential book, which helps. And this is definitely a good way to remember what you put in your head can come out in different ways, shapes, and forms. So I'm going to pull, as best as I can, something in here that will help. Not only, and even though it says As a Man Thinketh, it's really universal. Things along those lines. So let me figure out what I want to. This is good. Thought and purpose. So we've heard a lot of times, what's your passion, what's your purpose, all that type of thing. So this right here is going to be real key. So I'm going to read this passage. from the chapter Thought and Purpose out of As a Man Thinketh. They who have no central purpose in their life fall an easy prey to petty worries, fears, troubles, and self-pitying, all which lead just as surely as deliberately planned sins, though by a different route, to failure, unhappiness, and loss, for weakness cannot persist in a power-evolving universe. A man should conceive of a legitimate purpose in his art and set out to accomplish it. He should make this purpose the centralizing point of his thoughts. It may take the form of a spiritual ideal, or it may be a worldly object, according to his nature at the time being. But whichever it is, he should steadily focus his thought forces upon the object which he has set before him. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll a little bit further down. Even if he fails again and again to accomplish his purpose, the strength of character gained will be the measure of his true success, and this will form a new starting point for future power and triumph. So we say, someone without direction, and we see too many examples of those without direction or things along those lines, but have a purpose. You have to filter out the noise and look at, not only where criticism is coming from, who's doing the criticizing, and is it constructive or destructive? And you've heard me talk a lot of times about where you're putting your energy. And if you put your energy into, quote, we'll say lower level things, it's going to lead to lower level thinking. And when you have something that's a really big deal, it's going to be a problem. So you got to make sure that you are just be conscious of what you're thinking about and what you put your energy to. But I like what it says about failure, because we are going to have failures. We are going to make mistakes, but it does build character. It does build perspective. So while none of us want to go through failing times or troubling times, it is character building, perspective building, and allows us to be better resources. So that's the quote from As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, one of my go-tos. Definitely check it out. And next month, I promise, I'll be finished with the other book. So a couple of quick things as we get ready to wind down. This Saturday, November 4th, 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Nubian Bookstore, in Morrow, Georgia. Make sure to check me out for my next book signing. We'll have the books. We'll have limited bags of the AuthorASnorton blend coffee, mainly the medium, light, and decaf. And speaking of the AuthorASnorton blend, shouts to our collaborative team at Fontaise Coffee. October 30th, 2022 is when we premiered the medium roast. So we have the medium roast, the light roast, the decaf. We will do a special holiday roast that will be ideally coming out the week of Thanksgiving and wrapping up just after Christmas. So that way, for people who order online, can get everything in time during the holidays. It will be infused with a Kentucky favorite libation. So make sure to check that out. Mark your calendars. Probably we will confirm the release date, which we're targeting for November the 20th as the release date, but we will focus on releasing it by Thanksgiving. So make sure to check that out. Coffee lovers and all that type of thing. Trying to think of a couple other things that are happening on the writing end, but those are the two most immediate things. Thank yous to all the bookstores, book festivals, book clubs, readers, fellow authors, and more taking time to support. I genuinely appreciate it, and each one of you. And I mentioned it last week, but I'll be remiss if I didn't mention it again. To those of us in our Divine Nine circles, which are our historically Black Greek letter organizations, to the Tau Pi Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, to the family, friends, loved ones, members of the sorority of the passing of former Basilisk Gwen Russell Green. Her wake is this coming Friday, and Saturday is the service. So we definitely extend prayers, condolences, encouragement to all. And that goes for anyone who's had a family member, friend, or loved one transition. We always acknowledge that at the beginning of our talks, but we want to continue to acknowledge it. Please be aware it's the holiday season coming up. It's getting a little cooler. I know it was in the low 30s here in Metro Atlanta, but we know the holidays sometimes can be a challenging time for people. So let's try to be sensitive to what people are going through and what's going on with them. And an encouraging word is an encouraging word. So again, we know the holidays with holiday coming up at the end of November. You've got Hanukkah coming up next month, Christmas, Kwanzaa, New Year's. Sometimes it's a tough time for people, so let's try to walk with a little bit of presence and kindness. Shouts to Appears Place for a very good event this past Saturday in recognition and launching of the Bill Clark Music Scholarship. Unfortunately, I was not able to be there as I had to wear my media hat for covering the game between Florida State and Wake Forest University, but I hope that went well. And upcoming shouts to the Iota Zeta Sigma chapter, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. They have their black tie event taking place this coming Saturday, November 4th. Shouts to our chapters of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I know two chapters in Metro Atlanta. They're doing events as well, as it's getting to be that time of year. So of course with the holidays, definitely celebrate, but celebrate safely and be safe out there. As we know, unfortunately, there's a few folks out and about that are not in the holiday spirit. So please be careful and please be aware of where you move, how you move, and who you move with. And that's just anybody, not just the women out there. That's anybody. So as we get ready to wind down, again, the easiest way to stay connected with me is going to be on Instagram at AuthorASnorton. And you click on the link in the bio for my Linktree. If you prefer to type it in your Internet Explorer or your internet browser, it is linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. And when you click on my Linktree, it has all the information. For those of you that are subscribers, subscribe and get the newsletter that comes out twice a month. Subscribe to my YouTube, y'all. It's some great info out there, and we don't want you missing out. And again, just thank you to everybody who's taken time to support, encourage, uplift not only me, but other people in need. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. Be safe out there. Continued blessings, well wishes. And I said before, whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Keep it victorious. Keep it moving. I'll see you guys real soon. Hopefully this coming Saturday at Nubian Bookstore. Take care.